du point de lumière dans la pensée de Dieu, que la lumière afflue dans la pensée des hommes, que la lumière descende sur la terre.
Från kärlekens punkt i Guds hjärta, låt kärlek strömma in i människornas hjärtan. Må Kristus återvända till jorden.
Desde el centro donde la voluntad de Dios es conocida, que el propósito guíe a las pequeñas voluntades humanas, el propósito que los maestros conocen y sirven.
Dal centro che viene detto il genere umano si svolga il piano di amore e di luce e possa sbarrare la porta dietro cui il male risiede.
Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth. So let's open the second phase of this powerful solstice meeting. Gratitude from all of us and to all of us.
Thank you, Antonella. In about 2 hours, the sun will enter the sign of Cancer, thus marking the point of solstice. The sun will pass through the gate of Cancer, gate of incarnation. And this year, besides other significances, it also marks the moment and the period of full anchorage of the impulse of the festival week in December last year. And as sun passed through the gate of initiation in December solstice, and going through the last 6 months through the period of the higher interludes, we together been working holding the point of collective tension, the focused intention that the energy of the festival week would serve humanity through the World Servers Group. And now, as we enter the gate of eternity together with our Son, we bring our focus to manifesting that energy, building our lighted house, creating our collective soul garden. So let's enter together into our space that we created during the higher interludes, the Garden of Souls. The garden where each of us planted the seeds of our intention to manifest the sacredness of this planet. Today we will be sharing our experience working within our global garden. And we will expand the space of our garden, the space of our group heart. And for that, we invite us to experience the sense of Huga. And I invite Claire to tell us a few words about what is Huga. Claire, yes, you're
Hi,
muted,
everyone.
and I
This
hope
is
when you
Claire.
yes. Hi, Claire. Yes, we can hear you. And
Can
when
you
you
hear
share
me?
your screen, I hope you share audio enhanced qualities. Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, I did. I did. Yeah, I did. All
Okay.
good. Yeah. I just want to say thank you, Antonella, for your incredibly beautiful and powerful and humbling offering. Really linking the heavens and now the earth. Before I say a little bit about Hugo, I just want to read this poem by Mary Oliver, When I Am Among the Trees. When I am among the trees, especially the willows and the locust, equally the beech, the oaks, and the pines, they give off such hints of gladness. I'd almost say that they save me, and daily. I am so distant from the hope of myself, in which I have goodness and discernment, and never hurry through the world, but walk slowly and bow often. Around me the trees stir in their leaves and call out, stay a while. The light flows from their branches. And they call again, it's simple, they say, and you too have come into the world to do this, to go easy, to be filled with light and to shine. So many of you will be familiar with the concept of hygge. It's a Danish word that means well-being. It first appeared in Danish writing way back in the 18th century, and the Danish word originally suggested coziness. It's a practice of community, and it refers to the atmosphere that we create between us. It invites us to create well-being, connection, warmth, a sense of belonging. Hygge provides us with opportunities to gather together in circular conversations, campfire conversations, if you like. It fosters companionship and conviviality, equality, the breaking of bread, and the circulation of gifts. It invites inclusiveness, receptivity, safety, an acceptance of self and other, of presence, availability, and being. We've all been going through this hugely significant experience of social distancing through COVID, and all of that's brought into our consciousness and presence and questioning. And the internet, that perhaps for many used to be a platform that they were wary of or distracted by or daunted by, has revealed itself to many now as a powerful and loving instrument for connection, an opportunity for collaboration and group work of a kind not experienced in quite the same way before. A way by means we can transcend distance and time and difference. More and more people are experiencing its potential to create a deeply resonant field of unity and oneness. As Antonella said, nothing can stop this unity. This is Hygge, and it expresses in everyday ways, domestic ways, and in profoundly sacred and profound ways. And so this is a little background to what we're drawing together today to share and experience. Alexander will lead us in the lighting of candles, just to further establish the field of connection between us.
Thank you, Claire. The idea of coming together in the Hygge circle for June solstice came back in January, and we saw it as an opportunity to come as a community and to celebrate and share joy. And just a couple of weeks ago, we learned about the World Unity Week, and that there are hundreds of groups around the world will be coming together to celebrate unity. And this call was so resonant with us, and we said, yes, it's the same impulse that's coming through so many groups. And as we come today in our cozy circle, let's remember that it's our circle is one of many hundreds and thousands of circles of people goodwill coming together to celebrate unity and togetherness. So let's think about our garden that we created and know that this garden is open for everyone. This is the garden for humanity. In the next few minutes, let us sense our collective space, the space of our group heart. And when you hear that note of our togetherness, lit the candle, if you have one. If you don't have, don't worry, just keep that image of the fire of the group heart rising. So we'll have some music and some silence together.
Now comes the solstice night. I wish you safe and sound. Whether snow be light or heavy on the ground, our hearts bring back the light, as all the earth must do. May stars fill up our sight with wishes coming true. I wish this solstice night is grace and peace to you. Now comes the time of year when shadow yields the throne. Lords of oak and barley, dance that must be done. Keep faith and keep your candle. The sun is sure to rise o'er the sleepy fields of winter. In beauty to our eyes. Wish you safe and sound, whether snow be light or heavy on the ground. Our hearts bring back the light, as all the world must do. May stars fill up our sight with wishes coming true. I wish this solstice night is grace and peace to you. Grace and peace to you. I wish this solstice night is grace and peace to you. Grace and peace to you. Grace and peace to you. Grace and peace to you.
One of the qualities of hygge is joy and spontaneity. As Rita Dove, the poet, said, "Let it be said while in the midst of horror we fed on beauty, and that, my love, is what sustained us." And my friend Melissa Green, who's a poet in Boston, wrote this. She said, "Poetry, always so powerful, can be a hammer in these black times, a comfort and a reminder that the world has always been held on the balance between savagery and the sublime." So we've come to the point where Daniela is going to share the group garden images that some of you sent in. Daniela, you'll need to share your screen.
And this part of our time together is will be as flowing as it can, and there's some images that have been shared, they've been put in a random order, and so we invite you, when you see your image coming up on the screen, to raise your hand and we will unmute you, that you could share about your garden, about your place of silence, and your place of connection with the global group. And we asked that we share again the images of the plants that we dedicated during the Taurus festival, Vesak time. Now our plants grown a little bit bigger, and maybe some of you could share new plants and dedicate them in sharing what inspires you this solstice time, and share what is your Hygge experience of global garden gatherings. So, and it happened to be, it's an image to be image of our garden on the roof. So I guess we'll have to start.
Yes, it is a space for many to come and be together. It's a beautiful garden on the roof. From the right side, you see Manhattan, and on the left side, there's a view of Statue of Liberty. There's an immense horizon, and the flow of energy of birds that are singing now, people who come to breathe, to meditate, just to rest. But one of the main things is the sense of well-being, almost as a basic that we stand in when we come, when we open our eyes, right? There comes a sense of well-being in this world, in this body, in this group body. And when all of a sudden it's rattled, what we do, we just come up to that garden, catch the wind, the sky that's always changing, and we breathe this sense of everything is good in the world back into our life. Etheric network of energy that holds us.
In the group Hygge, it's sense the presence of Buddhi energy. And I think that's the main experience in the garden, linking with the plants and gardens of yours in different parts of the world. It's that sense of collective group Buddhic energy that we together can generate precipitation, not generate, but like precipitate and express it here through our gardens.
Thank you.
And there was next slide, Neil. That would be a plant that was dedicated to the global garden, was planted before the Vesak. And you see this light green leaves, that those are the new shoots that sprouted since May, since late April. So this plant in our global garden is very happy. Thank you. Let's go to the next happy plant. And who recognizes own garden,
This
please
one
raise
is
your
from-
hand.
That's from Jeffrey Swaincart.
Yeah, it's very rare. Yeah, it's my backyard garden of a little walled off section of the planet from which it's like my nest. I have a workshop, I have a meditation platform, a Buddha sculpture, unfinished. I call it my unfinished Buddha across from the meditation platform, and walking meditation path in between the house and the shop. And it's my base of operations, my seat, my cushion from which I meditate out to the world and with the world, and just very grateful to be participating in this process. My flowering, my pea blossoms with the promise of peas to come, and the flower garden, which were just photographed dirt back in April, and then some seedlings, and now just about bloom. The next, perhaps for the fall equinox, we'll have glorious flowers to show. So thank you, one and all.
Jeffrey, please
Thank
remind
you.
us where is a corner of the garden, which part of the world?
Oh, it's in Minneapolis, Minnesota, in the northern USA.
Thank you.
It's right near the Mississippi River, which is the headwaters of the great watershed that's the heartland of the U.S. So thank you.
These are photos from Yoke Heelan.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Hello. Can you hear me, please?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, that's good. I did start a video, but I don't see my image. So, well, you see here, and this is really a very special place. It's my favorite, and it's very, very beautiful. Sitting here, I can let go all the worries, and I can feel the beingness of it. And in my heart, I can connect then with my own nature, and that's divine nature, which is present in all and everyone. You see, it's lovely to see how the animals really are coming closer to humanity. This little friend is looking straight into the camera, so it's funny. In where I live, that is in Belgium, and I live on the countryside. And communities and families are choosing more for wildflowers. So with the purpose to help the insects. And then on the right, you see a part of the garden, of my garden, with also plants, especially for insects. So they are very happy in my garden. And I offer the joy and the beauty, and I send my wishes for happiness to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Yo. These beautiful pictures are from Oksana.
I'm not sure if Oksana is here. Where is Oksana is
named
from?
them in the email. Well, it's in Cyrillic, and I think it's Russian Cyrillic.
So I guess Oksana Emulik,
And,
she's from Ukraine. She's from Ukraine,
Yes.
yes. I see her email. From Oksana Emulik in Western Ukraine.
Beautiful
And
flowers.
she titled these pictures "My Soul Garden."
Beautiful.
Thank you. Oh. Daniela, who's this rose is?
It's Maria Elena Salinas. I'm not sure which part of the world she is in.
Thank you. Beautiful.
This
Hello?
one is from, yes,
It's from Regine. You hear me?
yes,
You hear me? Yes?
yes.
Yes, okay. So that's a picture of, I'm from Berlin in Germany. And this is a picture from my balcony. And you see the little stones in front. I have gathered them all over the world at the sea. I was in holidays, and I love very much the little stones. I'm sitting in the corner. You cannot see on the picture when I am meditating, and on the left I can see trees. You cannot see them, but there are a lot of birds, and they come to the balcony and they make a wonderful sound. And it's a wonderful place to be quiet in the midst of a big town and a noisy town, but there it's very quiet. And I love the roses. And in front you see tomatoes, little tomatoes. You cannot see them, but they are growing, and it's very quiet there, and in the loving atmosphere. When I'm sitting there, I become very quiet, and I'm sitting in a loving atmosphere. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Regine.
We apologize for the quality of connection. For some reason, Zoom today has delays, so please let's be patient with technology and ask divas of internet to stabilize our connection.
These pictures are from Maria and Bart.
I don't see them on the list, but Maria and Bart, they are in upstate New York in the United States.
Yeah. Their plants grew. They were teeny tiny.
Apologies for this. Another one of those.
Mm.
This is from Gillian Douglas.
I don't see on the list. So beautiful roses. Thank you. Do we know where is it, Gillian?
I think it, from UK, but that's my memory from our last garden meeting.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. What's next?
These are mine, actually. So on the left, the little tree that I dedicated actually got company. There is somehow a sunflower seed ended in the same pot, and I'm guessing this is the little bird that I'm feeding. That a couple of little birds that are coming since the tree is there, and I think that the little bird actually dropped one of the seeds of sunflower in there, so the tree has company. And the flowers are its neighbors, the closest neighbors on the same terrace, in front of which I meditate every day. And so joyful to say and happy that the bees and bumblebees are also joining the garden very, very regularly. And I'm in Brussels, Belgium.
Beautiful. Thank you, Daniela.
Yes. Lots of life.
Mm.
And I see Gillian
Quite a
Douglas
bit.
is actually in the room and had... Gillian Douglas is in the room wanting to share about her plant. Daniela?
Okay, I will go back. Here we are.
Use. Gillian, you unmuted. If you can share anything about your plant and the sense of Huger, or maybe if would do it later. Just listen to it, and then we can continue.
Gillian wrote a message in the group chat box. Shall I read that?
Yes, please.
She said, I live in a seaside village in Norfolk, UK. These roses are either side of a shed we got so that we could use it for painting in the summer. They bring me joy every time I look at them. Thank you, Gillian. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There they are.
This is from
Hi, everyone.
Day. Hi.
Yeah. Hi. Hi. This is the first one, I think, from the south. I live in New Zealand, in Wellington, and this is from my balcony or veranda looking out at the hillside. So it looks like this, even though it is the middle of winter. This photo wasn't taken in the middle of winter, however, it was taken at the time of Passover a couple of years ago. But I said this because this hillside is so full of life and communication. And we have many ceremonies on that veranda. And, you know, I feel it's a strong participant in both my life and the life of the group who come together to meditate and sing and celebrate. So the hygge aspect, I guess, for this gathering is that none of us have to go out. We stay at home, and I love that because it's cold here. It's early morning. So all the best to everybody.
Wonderful. Thank you,
Thank you
Kay.
so much.
Hi from a fellow Kiwi.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Nice to hear you.
This photo is coming from Brigitte Rasmussen.
I don't see Brigitte on the list now. Thank you, Brigitte, for sharing this.
These are coming
And
from
this I
Dot.
recognize. This is
Yes, this is Dot calling in from Walpole, New Hampshire, USA, about 4.5 hours north of New York City. And if you'll unmute Tara as well, if she's here, she can speak to the hemlock that she actually planted. And this garden is one of our vegetable gardens, and of course our peace pole garden with the beautiful roses that are just starting to peak on the right. They are peace roses and the other blooming flowers. And I want to say that the global garden, each time being out here and thinking of everyone around the world and our shared garden experience, Claire, what you shared about beauty touches the group heart for me, and I think we walk the path of beauty, which is the ultimate realization through pain and suffering. So gratitude and love as we share the beauty.
thank you, Dot.
Thank you, Dot.
Thank you.
Such a beautiful place, such a beautiful space of love.
Hello? Can you hear me? I am, yes, I am Josette. I live in Vosges Mountains in France. The first picture is a plant I sent for the global garden. And it's a very symbolic one because it's a forest, a wild plant, and it is my garden. And there is a mixture of wild plants and garden plants, wildflower and garden flowers, and insects like it very much. And this plant was dying for lack of water. And now she's living. It is living. So it's a symbolic of the strength of life. And the second picture is a picture of a place I like very much for meditation each morning. And the stream with the song of the water gives me strength and love and all things like that. Thank you.
Oh, beautiful.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
These pictures are from Diane Adams.
Daniela, can you repeat, please? I couldn't catch the name.
Diane Adams.
I don't think Diane is with us now here online.
That is a glorious, glorious view with the flowers and the hope sign and the tree.
Thank you, Diane.
Thank you.
These photos are from Urania Cecilia Sayago Sanchez.
Urania is here. Please unmute yourself, Urania. Urania, if you can try to press your microphone, see if you will be able to unmute yourself. Did she wrote anything? Where is this beautiful view? Where's this valley? Where is Urania is from?
I didn't see it in her email. Her email is in Spanish. Maybe an indication.
But it is a beautiful place as well. And some amazing succulent plant on the left.
Mm.
Thank you, Urania. Beautiful valley of Providence.
This photo is from Darcy Sessions.
Hi, Darcy.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
This is a beautiful pine tree, representative of the great pine our Lord, the Christ, stands under each day, facing the west, with his palms upward, sounding the great Gayatri. This little young suckling is a precious little creature that seems to attract all the butterflies and the winged ones and the little squirrel people. And it reminds me of the place in the Himalayas, the garden there, that the two trees that adorn the entrance of peace, rest, and service, inscribed over the gateway. And when the sun progresses into the mansion of the serving man, the way of life takes the place of the way of work. Then the tree of life grows until its branches shelter all the sons of men. The building of the temple and the carrying of the stones ceases. The growing trees are seen. The building disappears. Let the sun pass into its appointed place. And in this day and generation, attend ye to the roots of the growth. And this is our young little tree, our pine, our sacred pine in our global garden.
Thank you, dear Marcy. Thank you.
Thank you, Darcy. Beautiful. Peace tree.
Thank you. This photo is from Jeannie.
Jenny Ross, hello. This is my lanai. Aloha. And I sit here almost every day, one of my favorite spots on the island of Maui. And I have a view down to the ocean. And behind me is the summit of Haleakala. It feels like a very rich and sacred place. And from this place, imagine that I can send love and radiance in every direction across the ocean to the whole world. And I just want to say that this practice of the global garden has felt more substantial than many of the other programs I participate in, because it really does feel like sharing and a glimpse into each other's life. So I'm grateful for that. And it also has an existential quality, because for the most part, we're sharing the field in which we live and expand. And it's easy to tap into everybody's place in the garden. Thank you so much.
Mahalo. Thank you.
Thank you, Jenny. Urania has sent a message to the chat box, and it was Urania who sent the images of the succulent and the beautiful view. She said, "Good afternoon. I don't speak English. If you could read this, I have translated some words to share with everyone. The image they observe is the image of an area near Caracas called Jaru, where I went a few years ago to meditate and pray. Now I use it to meditate daily. It connects me with the peace and love between all of us, and that I use for the planting of the plant at the Wesak festival. For that same festival, I'm called succulent, and there are already more seedlings. It is our contribution to the global garden. By seeing, I connect with everyone in the world. Thank you very much." From Urania. To Urania. And there it is again. Beautiful.
Thank you, Urania. Such a welcome belly.
Thank you.
And I think that next image was yours, Claire.
Ah, yes, I think, yes, it is. So I've just been so grateful to have this image of the global garden with me during lockdown, and then to have a garden to work in every day. And I planted an olive tree and an angelica that I shared during our Wesak festival. And I thought I was going to share those, but instead I'm sharing this small fungus because I've been spending a lot of time with the bark and the decay and the compost of the garden, and discovering all these incredibly beautiful, often dazzling, but shy, quiet plants that are, for me, daily reminders of the little beings and the subtle Davic beings who are constantly with us and really wanting to collaborate with them. So I've been really very grateful to sort of zoom in into the kind of micro mushroom world over this time, and just wanted to share this image with you. They're so fragile and so beautiful. This one is actually growing within a radius of my angelica plant, and the angelica plant is known for its healing properties during pandemics, interestingly. I didn't know that when I planted it. So in the presence of mushrooms and many birds, I'm very grateful to you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Claire.
Thank you, Claire. These photos are from Marion Ramos.
Yes, Marion shared these images earlier today. I saw them. So the message that came together was this image. It's an avocado tree which I raised from its seed. The message in meditation was, I give my fruits in service with love. As the fruit has a form similar to an egg, the signification is for a new-born humanity. And this is the garden in Bolivia.
Colors.
Thank you, Marion.
Thank you, Marion.
Thank you.
Thank you. This photo is from Catherine from Sydney, Australia.
Catherine, if you're here, please unmute yourself and share.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, great. I can't see my picture. Oh, yeah, just see a picture there. So this is a huge heritage listed red gum tree that was planted in 1886 and is now 134 years old, to which I'm currently the privileged custodian. It was planted to provide shelter for horses who lived on the property before the land was divided up. Now it's a wonderful sanctuary for many Australian native birds and other species of wildlife. at the top of the trunk, you'll see there's a hollowed branch that must have been cut off many years ago, which makes a lovely warm sheltered nesting spot and used regularly to hatch many native baby birds each year, including the wonderful laughing kookaburras, which I was just listening to in the background just a few moments ago in a valley in front of us. And also the beautiful, very chatty rainbow lorikeets nest there and have their little babies in this hollow. So it's very exciting to see all these birds, you know, the mothers and fathers birds coming and going, looking after their little hatchlings. The tree also provides a wonderful canopy and dwarfs the tropical garden that I had planted underneath, which brings much joy, peace, and oasis for meditation and contemplation. This also connects with a beautiful reserve, which is just down in a valley. The many kookaburras live around that reserve, and the kookaburras in that reserve and in my huge tree that I look after often have a corroboree, what they call a corroboree. So I hear them in the distance, and then I can hear the sound of these kookaburras coming closer and closer until the kookaburras in the big tree in my backyard join in, and it continues to other big trees in the distance. So I feel there's a real connection that travels in the Davic world, and it's wonderful to be part of that. So thank you very, very much for letting me be part of this. This is great. It's wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathleen.
Thank you.
Such a presence.
Thank you. This one is from Alexandra, Alex Radcliffe.
Hello.
Hi.
Can you hear
Hello.
me?
Hello. Yes.
Can you hear
Hi.
me? Yes? Yes?
We can,
Yes.
Alex.
You can. Okay. Oh, lovely. So I'm sitting here now. And this is a very, very sacred place, very special place to me, because it came from nothing. We live in Greater London, west of London, about 20 minutes. And I'm sure Alexander can appreciate when you can grow something in a city and you have a garden. It's really delightful. And this Buddha is the result of a gift from my students in the last school I was teaching in. And that's remarkable because they were a class of very strict Christians. And behind the Buddha is a cherry tree, which is just magnificent, viewed from upstairs and downstairs in every angle, because it blossoms and then it drops its leaves in the autumn, but under it nothing grows because of the lack of sunlight. So just like out of mud a lotus grows, this was a mud patch where the rocks are, and gradually we developed it, never intending it to be a shrine, but it has been. And over these last 3 months of sequestering, quite happily, here. And thankfully, it's become ever more sacred and special. I meditate here, I work out here, we garden out here. My children grew up in that garden shed playing with the big blackboard, of course, being children of two teachers. And there's a lot of history here. We've been here for several decades. And so I often remember the World Group because this being a planetary center, there's a lot of energy here. A lot of work has gone on, and everyone has been here with me so often and so many times. And I think it has a name because over these last 3 months, what I have most sounded at these peaceful moments sitting here are the words that became the motto of Italy, which are "Andrà tutto bene," everything will be all right. And I sort of dedicated this garden to all of our friends in Italy, being the epicenter of the COVID crisis in Europe and the way they came through it. And they were such a model for all of us. And we're still going through it here. But to sit here and to remember them and the World Group and sound the words "Andrà tutto bene," everything will be all right. It's very, very, it's very touching for me. So I share that with all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's very special, Alex. Touching your part of the
Thank
garden
you.
with the heart.
Thank you, Alex.
Thank you.
And this is, last but not least, a photo from Grete Hartz.
Yeah. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, Greta, we
Yes.
can hear you.
Good, thank you. Here's a message from the little bluebell. It's a wildflower, and I have connected with it. And the message was, I'm reflecting the sky. And there's a message from universe. Everything is one. We are all of the same substance. And there was a healing from that little flower, that little bluebell. The throat chakra, clear speech from the heart. And it is connecting the heart and the throat chakra. We are ringing the bells from the sky. And suddenly I saw it has come into my garden. So I am so happy to have this in my garden because it's a wildflower. So thank you.
Thank you, Greta.
Thank you.
From the
So,
Danish part of
It's a
very
hyggelig
plant.
A hyggelig plant.
Hygge plant, yes.
Now it's a hyggelig. It's very hyggelig plant. in the hyggelige garden.
Much joy.
The connection is not stable today, and we hear each other notes and we smile to each other, even if the words not always travel well today. Thank you. Is there anyone who would like to share briefly the image of their plants and didn't have a chance to share by email?
Or just the words?
Or just words, yes. Please unmute yourself and share.
This is Michael from outside Seattle, and I have a Norfolk pine in my room in a pot. And it reminds me that wherever I am, I'm in a garden, and that I'm in a garden within a garden within a garden. It's lives within lives within lives. And when Antonella was describing the heavens and the fiery seeds that are coming down from the heart of the sun through Vulcan into the earth, to grow this new civilization, I realized the same process of my little Norfolk pine growing, producing seeds, shedding them. So we have to introduce the seeds, and we have to create the right conditions. And what I appreciate about our work this past year is that we've invoked the fiery seeds. We've created the field of unity, which is the best soil in which these seeds can grow. And that we are holding in our collective mind as the planetary server the possibility of the future, and the seeds being a promise of the future. Because as I look at my pine, I realize that most of the world is going through its own upheaval, not quite sure what the future will hold. We know what the future holds. It's the promise of the Christ being born within each heart, within the heart of humanity as one. And so we do know what is coming. It is our job to plant these seeds and to create the thought forms for the new civilization. And so just the realization that we live inside a garden, that's inside a garden, that's inside this great universal garden. And the Hygge moment for me was when you had the image on the screen of the campfire burning. And I realized that is the symbol of the fire of love inside the human heart. We are gathered around the fire of love. Not just gathered around it, but it lives inside us as well. And so that is the hope, the fiery hope that lives with me. And as I declare the fact that as Gaians, we're here to help the earth garden blossom. Thank you.
So this is Martha from the United States, Weehawken, New Jersey, filled with a heart full of gratitude for all of the shares that have taken place. As you were all speaking, I found myself drawn to my fire escape. Imagine a very lovely rose geranium outside. But the flowers that we each have, the beautiful statues, the small trees, bring together for me in this time of our share, this amazing connection between tenderness and will, and that the ability to bring from the earth the force of our will spread throughout the world, committed not only to love, but to create the new world in love. And so thank you so much for providing a share like this. It does open a different dimension of ourselves. Thank you.
Thank you, Marta. And this is on the screen, I think, the last image that's for our garden. This is the flower that Antonella shared as the meeting already was in process. This is our...
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, we are here for the Solstice meeting, and this is our plane of stars and signs, and we used to do dances, ritual dances on it, and at the four corners of the day, we celebrate a ritual dedicated to the 7 numbers, 7 psychogeometries of the planets in the heavens that they build. So tonight was the 5th ray. And so while we were celebrating together this meeting, we celebrated this ritual dedicated to the 5-pointed star. And so we wanted to share it as a flower, as a garden in the heavens. And many of us are already gone to bed. And so we say hello from the left ones. So happy Christmas and happy solstice. Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you, friends. We're coming now very close to the end of our gathering, but our togetherness will continue. And before we go in the ceremony of blessing the water, Claire, can you tell us what this is? Because it's amazing.
I just been so reminded of, we've been, sharing our gardening and plantings, and there's this other whole life that goes on in the gardens and the wilderness and the forests. And it's the animal life and the bird life and the insect life working their own artistry. And this is a nest, a bower that's been built by a bower bird in Australia. It's part of its courtship ritual to attract a mate. It collects all these beautifully color synchronized and coordinated goodies and arranges them really like an artwork to seduce the female bird and invite her into his parlor. And just thinking of this extraordinary creativity that's in evidence in nature everywhere, in beehives and spiders' nests and birds' nests, and the patterning of geometry and lichens and flowers, and it's just so incredibly wondrous and beautiful. So that I just wanted to be there with us today. Thank you all so much for your incredibly beautiful and generous sharing. It's been wonderful.
Yes, and since we have only 6 minutes before the vigil that we do, 5 minutes, it's going to be a very fast blessing, like a blow of the wind. So we look at our candles and we bring that fire of our candles and we join it into a campfire on the beach of the ocean. And we see our group standing, we see us standing together, seeing the fire, looking at the ocean, connecting with a great being that we call Varuna. And above this limitless ocean, there's the sky, the air that is filled with moisture, water, and the clouds that are water in the air. And we see that water pouring down all over our planet, nurturing and bringing sacred to everything, the plants, the soil. We bless the waters that are within us, the same shared water within our human bodies, animals and plants and minerals. We see the limitless sky. And in that sky, we seek the blessing of ours by the great beings that we call Neptune and Uranus. And with their blessing of all the body of the water on our amazing planet, we bring that into our bowls of water that will be shared with our garden, our global garden. Remember that that blessing will extend to everyone that will visit it for many more to come. Let it be, and let us do our part. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
with the blessing of the water, the invitation to drink some of your blessed water and to share what's in your glass with your plants and animals with whom you live. Thank you for the company today. Solstice blessings. Friends, thank you for staying on a while, and may we all be blessed as we go out into the day, into the afternoon, into the evening. And we look forward to meeting again soon. Take care, everyone, and thanks for your generous sharing today. Bye.
Solstice, greetings, blessings. Bye.